Joe, how are you this afternoon, my friend?
Hey, living the dream, baby, living the dream.
What is
Windows
the
are
dream? What
open.
is the dream?
The dream to me is windows open, 78 degrees outside, a breeze ripping through here,
Yeah,
digging through DeFi,
yeah.
making money. I mean, I sent all those links to you early this morning showing all the liquidity clusters waiting for the, stop loss grab. And of course, it all happened in between when I sent it to you in the
I see.
show.
I'm like, what the fuck? I saw these pumps. I
Yeah.
was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
dude.
It was like, I'm
We
like,
just
they're
need
going
to
to
keep a
take it.
live stream open on you all day.
I mean, it's just like it was so easy to see, and then, and then of course it's pumping back up now. I mean, I don't know where it seems to have stabilized around 3,900 on ETH and 47 roughly for BTC. I mean, today was I think a triple witching day on Wall Street or something, and I think that there was some big option expiries in BTC or in some of the crypto stuff, and it looks like from past experience, everybody looks at that as a buying opportunity
Sure.
because everybody waits for the crash and buy. So that part of our discussion is you can just ignore all those messages because they've been overcome by events. But it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So,
Is this the liquidations map?
Yeah,
Let's show people what you were talking about. What the fuck? I want this open. Oh, I should share screen.
Yeah, there you go. And we got the banner up too. Perfect.
Yes, sir. I'm a good boy.
That's my job.
Yeah, I did it for you.
Thanks.
Let's see. There we go. Mute, allow. Go to this view.
Nope. It's all you, buddy.
As it should be.
Yes. I don't know if this was... Is this the one?
This is liquidations map, BTC perps.
Yeah, so you just look at that, and you could see that. For some reason, I thought I was looking at a different one, but you could see how it's all weighted.
You had two. You sent me two.
Yeah. Oh, let me pull up my side too, just to see.
This one's ETH perp.
Yeah. So that was the one I thought was really interesting, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. Okay. So get past the French maid discussion. Oh yeah, so I think the ETH one was the one I was most intrigued by, because I mean you could see that was just setting up for something to happen with the gaps there. And then I look at the BTC one, and you can see all that negative sentiment stacked up going into the what's going to happen when everything expires.
Yeah,
and what happened is what always happens. It goes down and it hit. Looks like 3,700 was where it touched on ETH, and then it, ripped back up. So, and this happens on the weekends a lot too. So, when it's thinly traded, but you can see the timing on this. Just look at the time on this too. So when the big dump happened, what time was it? 9:30 again. When does Wall Street open? 9:30. So it's like they're all heading into the weekend, the holidays. And everybody's like, they're still in the mentality of let's close out these positions and go for the weekend.
They don't get the 24/7 shit.
No, they still don't. It surprises me. But the people who do get it is the next run up. When it moved up over the next hour and a half to 39, maybe 50-ish or something like that. So now it's settled in. So to me, now the weekend we'll look and see what happens. Where people will start. Selling positions. I mean, I'm kind of in this thing. I know the next one coming up is a December 31st date with, a big option expiry on BTC, I believe. And everybody's talking about that one now, turbulence. But I think it always is just, eventually the Wall Street guys are going to go, oh, hey, holy shit, maybe we should be the ones on the green side of this than the red side.
Right.
And come in when it dips. And they're going to figure this out.
Sure.
So I think this kind of stuff is, 6 months ago when this type of stuff happened? It was like a, giant drop with wicks down 25% or something. And then it comes screaming back. And now we don't see that anymore.
Yeah.
So more stabilization. But that was all stuff I was looking at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, versus when I came back to the screens about an hour ago, I was like, oh, wow, I missed that.
Yeah.
But, so a couple other things. Did we talk with Life DAO? we talked about Life DAO yesterday, right?
Yep.
Well, that's Unis DAO.
You want any of this shit? The S&P stuff?
No,
okay.
That's old. That's old.
Okay. Did we do this one? Oh wait, that's Unis. Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on.
They started the mint today on NFTs. And I talked about that briefly yesterday.
Okay. That's right. Yeah.
That's dead too. You know, and Unis DAO's holding up, you know, big APY. What I was intrigued about though is I examined Life DAO more after the show yesterday and looked at it and lifedao.finance. And you know, I'm like, well, we've got a 78 centillion % APY. I'm like, you know, why not? And so I went in and minted some with MIM at a 63% discount. Okay, so I mean, I just bought one just for yucks. It was like at 120, I think, or something, and so I got the discount.
Wait, is this Avalanche?
Yeah. Yes, Avalanche. So I took the discount of 63%. But as soon as I did that, I started looking at the staking table.
Oh, you went in the bond.
Yeah, I bonded first. And then I looked at the staking table and I'm like, well, shit, if you just buy it on spot and stake it, you get 93%.
Exactly.
Which is, you know, 50% more than 63%. So I was like, oh, well, fuck. So I went and bought another one and just went on that side. And it has this really interesting thing that I thought was pretty cool. Once you put it in, there's like a warm-up period. So you got to get through 3 rebases before you can pull it out.
Oh.
So what it gets, you know, there's
that gives them plenty of time for the rug.
Well, also, but you know, the game is, yeah, I mean, these all can do that, obviously. This is, you know, lottery. It's Vegas.
They want enough time to fucking rug the shit out of everybody. Do you have to wait 3 days to withdraw every time you get a rebase?
Sorry, no, 3 rebases.
3 rebases. So 24 hours.
Yeah. But, you know, look, it still clocks it. So you're still getting it. You just can't pull it off. And I've got like one more rebase. I think it's in 10 minutes. And then I formally can stake it. But you're still getting the rebase rewards. So they're just trying to eliminate that problem or mitigate it somewhat.
That's an interesting approach. Did you find anything more about the project? I mean, are they like,
no.
Is there anything interesting about how they're approaching it?
Well, the docs were pretty interesting. I mean, look, I started reading through all the docs just to, you know, which of course I'd love to see in one easy place. But, you know, they make a pretty interesting argument. It's a, you know, they're teeing it up as an algorithmic stable coin, of course. But they say, look, you know, if you bought it at 400, you know, when it came out. You mean
reserve currency, not stable coin?
Well, they're calling it. Let me pull up their exact language here.
I'm looking at their docs right now.
Okay, go to the FAQ section and see carrier defining asset blah, 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 decentralized treasury-backed currency maintains a value of at least $1, but it's not pegged to anything. And so has upside obviously higher than $1. I mean, it's at 100.
Well, so they're basically saying the backing is at least $1, which is Olympus DAO is the same, right?
Yeah,
the backing is one DAI per ohm.
But what I thought was interesting, and I didn't really think of it this way, is that they talk about what happens if it approaches. Here it is. It's the what is APY section. So, assuming a daily. Like they're saying, what happens if the price of this went down to $2? Okay, where it's at, you know, it was at 120 and then 90, and now it's I think at 140. But the thing is, even if it goes down, and you made this point about Ohm, if it went down to $2, since you're assuming daily compound interest of 2%, at the end of the year, your balance is going to grow to 1,377 Life DAO tokens,
right?
Instead of 1 for each one. And so then the holdings are worth $2,754, which is a $2,354 profit, assuming you bought one at $400.
Yeah.
And, you know, we love this kind of compounding. We've been talking about this for, you know, we were looking at like all those pools back last March and February timeframe where we could daily compound on and you see those yields. And so I started thinking, you know, this is, you know, I guess it's no matter what happens, as long as it stays, you're going to grow and make money, which I think is the Olympus DAO.
It's exact same. Yeah.
But the difference is they got the cool off period, the warm up period. And there was one other thing I liked, but just different features of this.
I like this calculator. This is nice.
Yeah, so there was a couple of things in here I really liked.
Well, it would be nice if it worked. It doesn't actually work. Because I changed the future LF Life DAO market price to half of its current, less than half basically, and it didn't update the earnings and the days. The current wealth investment. Oh, is this? Oh, maybe it's not going to update the future wealth. Oh, there's the future wealth. Sorry about that. My bad. Okay, so let's say in 30 days, you bought 2 Life DAOs, and the price dropped by. Well, let's do the current price. So at the current price, if it maintained this price, you invested basically $242, $243.08. At the end of 30 days, you've had 466 Life tokens, and the return, if it stayed at that price, would be $56,733.
Yeah. Okay. So run that out for a year. Okay.
So let's do this for a year.
Take that pink bar out to 360.
Why won't it let me? There we go.
There you go. Start
65.
Start at 2. I have 2 in there now, just 2 Life, just to test this. And I bought, I think, at around 120. But I bonded too. So I actually.
So the potential return is you own planet Earth.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it looks like 3 billion.
Let's say the price drops to $10.
I get 963 quadrillion Lambos.
Let's say the price drops to $1 to the backing tokens dollar. You're still okay. So this is.
Yeah, I still end up with, it looks like about 715 billion.
And that's if the APY, if the rebase stays the same.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say it drops to 150,000 APY. So this is interesting. Even after a year, if it dropped to $1 per Life and the APY dropped to 150,000%, you would still have made about $2,500 on your money.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. But let's say it dropped in half and it was at 150,000. You're still up $179,000.
Yeah. So look, these are like,
that's just shits and giggles. Yeah, it's a fun game. Mate. So speaking of the game,
yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Were you going to say something else?
So I was going to say the important thing, and I think I'm going to tee you up here, is
tee me up.
That's why you do Unis DAO and Fortress DAO and Life DAO and Spartacus DAO and every little DAO fork you can find, because you don't know. It's hard to tell who's who. And
right.
So look, I mean, you only need one. I mean, obviously you're not going to hit these numbers. I mean, I don't think so. Doesn't look that realistic. But if you have one that has some modicum of success along these miracles of compounding for a year, you're done. You know, you're retired at that point. So,
sure.
I mean, completely retired. So to me, on the odds out of, say, if you took a play on 10 or 15 or even diversified further than that, you know, with play money, you know, a couple of grand, let's say, then, you know, who knows what happens? I got to think a couple of these are going to be somewhat successful.
So I had this idea that just me or just you or both of us would. So my idea was I was going to take $3,000 and put $100 in the 30 Olympus forks. Right. I'm calling it the We're Forked Fund.
We're forked.
We're forked.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that on the screen. Wait, there we go. The We're Forked Fund. And the idea is this, that we would put $100 each in each of these.
Hey, you might want to have that banner up at this point. I think if it gets that far, we might want that banner.
Hold on. I'll do here. I'm going to combine. Yeah. Oh, that's Erica. We don't want Erica. No, I mean, we love Erica.
Up. You did get that banner up after Erica. There
but I want to do something here. I want to combine them. I can't do more than one at a time, which is just fucking stupid. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so the idea is this, people. I can actually talk. The idea is that we would start this. At first, it was just going to be me or just me and Joe doing this, right?
Yeah.
And we would publicly ask the community to tell us the ohm forks that we should be in. And the idea was that we would take $100 into each of these 30 forks. My thinking is we make 20% of them be like total fucking degen plays. Like, there's no purpose. It's just stupid APY, and let's see what the fuck happens and expect that we might get rugged, right? And then the rest would be ones that we would kind of rank by quality, right? So we would buy Geom because we know that quality. We'd buy time. We could do Klima because it's on Polygon. We're not going to do anything on layer 1 directly. All of them we will actually stake in the interface except for the Geom because you can't, and I don't want to pay $300 in fees for a $100 investment across chains, and we will make it public, right? And the idea would be is we put the $100 in each one. If an investment falls below 50% of the original investment, so in this case, if it was $100, if it falls below $50 in value, we liquidate that position, and we put that whatever's left, $49, and we put that and pile it onto the highest performing position currently, right? Then the other idea I had, and you tell me if you think this makes sense. Every time the value of a given, the USD value of a given investment doubles, we take 25% and put it in stables, right? So if it got to $200, we would take 25% of the $100 in profit and take $25 and put it in stables, right? So every time it doubles, we take 25% and put it in stables. We can adjust those numbers. It doesn't have to be that specific. But so I was talking to you about it, and I thought, well, under SEC exemptions, if we stay under $1 million and we don't have more than initially 100 investors, we don't have to participants. Yes. We don't have to do all the SEC filings and stuff. So it operates like an investment club. And we would let the viewers help us choose the DAOs, suggest them, and then we'll rank them, and then we can maybe vote. We'll see how that goes. I don't know if we'd get enough participation. But we would then say to you guys, we're not going to do any smart contracts, nothing fancy. If you would like to be involved in the We're Forked Fund, you could we'll publish the wallet address for the fund. We will publish the spreadsheet and make it public where we track it. And we will also publish the link to the DBase page that tracks all the investments and the value of those investments. If you want to participate, you can match the 3,000 that I'm putting in. Joe, if you want to participate, I'm just assuming you are, but I don't know. Everybody puts in 3,000. You send your 3,000 to the wallet. I guess we should set a time limit on this, Joe.
Well, the problem is that since, with these auto compounding plays, the hugest returns are at the back end.
Right. So how long do we go? 6 months?
I think at least 6 months.
Okay. So it'll be at least 6 months. Maybe
we could then do a community vote to see if we end it,
cash out, or or the other option is we set some parameter of, we could do is after we take all the stable investment that we've set aside and we vote whether we put it into more or we distribute it, right? And then we set a time limit on it. Maybe the time limit's a year, but we can set up a vote anytime. We'll set up a Discord channel for it. So we'll be launching the DeFi Lunch Discord, and then we'll set up a channel just for the people that are investors and participants. But it's okay to say that word when we're doing an exemption. Okay. We set up a separate group. Everybody that sends their 3,000 in, don't get rid of that wallet because we're not doing smart contract shit. We're going to send back the profits when we close this thing out. Anytime we do a distribution from it, we're going to send it back to the wallet that you sent it from. So we're not, this isn't going to be fancy management, nothing else. We're just going to later on, if this gets, when we do our own formal funds, like formal full-blown funds, those will have smart contract management and all of that. For this, just for shits and giggles, we'll do this. Now, we are probably all going to lose our money. You will probably lose your money. You should know you're going to lose your money. But if you're interested in playing and seeing how this goes, message me on Twitter, B05Crypto, and let me know. Message me on Telegram if you prefer, B05Crypto. Let me know that you're interested. We'll keep a list of everybody that's interested. If you don't want to be known, that's fine too. You can just send it to the wallet when we get it up and running. And when we're done, we'll send it back to you and your profits if there are any. But most likelihood, you could lose everything you put in here. I don't want anybody putting in anything into this that can't lose it, right? Don't put money into this if you can't lose that money, right? This is money that I would put in and Joe would put in, that it's play money. This is, how we're doing it for the show and to have fun. But if you're interested in participating, message me. Let me know. It doesn't matter if it's just me and Joe. It's okay.
Yeah.
But it'd be fun if everybody was playing along and participating as well. So if you're interested, DM me and let me know. You know who we are. We're doxxed. We're not going to steal your money. But we are not going to do like locks and smart contracts and vaults for this. For our formal fund, we'll do that. For this, we're just going to play.
This is like, well, look, this is kind of a hedge on everything else you're doing too, or accelerator or boost, because it's something you don't have to think about. And, I tend to think that this type of stuff is super attractive the longer you're in it.
Yeah.
Because then you kind of mitigate any volatility in the overall markets, because remember, you're always rebasing in the digital quantity of tokens held, not the dollar value. So the game is that, even if, like, say this Life DAO goes to $2, theoretically, if APYs, stay at high, I'm not saying at 78 centillion, but if they stay at, thousands or hundreds as it starts winding down, it should do well.
Yeah.
So I don't, I think the disclaimer that you say, Brad, is accurate. That, look, don't send anything you can't afford to lose, and don't send anything that you're going to need back in 2 weeks.
Exactly.
Because we don't know how long it runs. But I think if we have something tremendously up, like if one of these tokens goes from 134 to, $3,000, at that point, I think we have to start evaluating, wait, do we then cash that one out versus waiting for more rebases and drop it into the other ones, or distribute back to the different participants, or what do we do? It'll get us to think through other potential scenarios as we, roll through this.
Yep.
New decision points. So,
hey, Trading Edge said, why not make it a DAO? I'm actually looking at 2 DAO platforms to do this so that people could vote that way. Absolutely. Appreciate your comment. And I do think we could do that. Let me see what we could do from a technology perspective to get it set up as quickly as possible. But it would be fun to start a DAO around this, Joe, and just start, because we could build from there into all the other ideas we have, right? We just start building this community, people participate. So absolutely, Trading Edge. It's something that's been on my mind, but just to get this rolling, we may just, get it going.
Quick and dirty one.
Yeah, quick and dirty. And then I'm looking at, like I said, a few platforms for the funds that we've already talked about, and they would probably be fine for this as well. But I'd like to get this done up and running by, like, I don't know, next week, Joe, next Wednesday.
Yeah, well, look, we could just start it.
Yeah.
And then everybody can see the wallet, see what's going on. And if people want to jump in, fine. But otherwise, if they want to wait for the formal DAO, and that's formation and all. I mean,
we're not going to formalize any commissions or anything like that. Yeah. If you guys are happy to be, if we all get super rich and you want to tip us, you can. But we're not setting this up as something we're like managing. It's a community thing. So
this one is no management fee, no 80-20 stuff. This is just put in, you get a share of it, the proceeds, and then we see what happens. The other ones will be more along those lines.
Yeah, totally. No, those will be, because those are a lot more work. All the shit that we're doing to automate and take advantage of some algorithm shit, that's shit that's all,
Yeah, and we'll be doing SEC filings and all of that too. So, or exemptions, whatever we have to do. So it will be compliant. And that costs money, as everyone knows. But, if we weren't doxxed, then maybe we wouldn't care as much about that. But we're talking more about audits and SEC and proper stuff here.
Yeah.
So just, mainly because we're all in, we're in the US. So
yeah. Start sending us the DAOs, the Ohm forks that you love or you think are good, or just have stupid degen rates, or any you just find. I'm going to start using the FOMO interface to find some. I don't know if he updates that. Let me see if he or she updates that regularly. That FOMO tool, Joe.
Yeah, I can't remember what the name of it is though, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Where's the list? Oh yeah, like is Life in here? Yeah, Life DAO's in here. It looks like he's keeping these up to date. So cool. So we can use that. That's great. Actually, we could track the whole wallet here. We can give people the URL and they can see the total overall value as it grows, etc. We will take profits along the way just to protect everybody, and maybe we get to a break even point and everybody can take their break even out or vote to put it into some new ones that have come out since then, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking we could potentially expand this as we go, right? Like maybe some new protocol comes along that's doing something similar to Olympus DAO, but it's a different model. And we say, all right, fuck it, let's add to it. Let's take some of our stable and put it in the same way. So
well, and also when we have the formal stuff up and running, two types of DAOs, one for accredited and one for unaccredited. There's
right.
different ways to do it. There's just slightly different rules.
Yeah.
People could technically take money from this and roll it into the other ones. So
that's true. It's a good way to earn for that. That's cool. I like that, Joe.
Yeah. So you could basically roll your profits into another one. And no matter where you want to sit on the disclosure categories. So I think
I do like the idea of setting it up as a DAO and people could vote. I mean, at the very least, we can just set it up with snapshot votes. We don't have to do a full-blown DAO structure, but we could set up snapshot votes for people to vote on which projects we do, or things like ending it, take profits, that kind of stuff.
Well, and also in the fund, the proper fund, we're also talking about getting in on projects that are just starting.
Right. So we're getting a nice flow of deals. So there's a lot of opportunity for us there as well.
People in different sectors, everything from, education, some UBI, universal basic income concepts, art, you name it. I mean, there's so many ideas out there. And we would look to kind of jump into those in the same format, a wide distribution across different teams. So we can start looking at execution risk and evaluating the people running the projects and getting at the earliest possible stage.
Yep.
So I guess, I think this is a great idea, Brad. I'm in.
Cool.
So let's do it.
Awesome.
The other thing I want to tell everybody, Unis DAO too, just so you know, they started the minting this morning. It didn't look sold out at like 7 o'clock. I don't know what's going on now, but that one's been holding up too. So that's the one on Binance Smart Chain. But go ahead, Brad. I just wanted to throw that out real quick.
Oh no, I was going to load that up. I think we're good on this. I'm gonna put together some stuff. I'll put together a description. Maybe I'll register a domain real quick just for shits and giggles. We're Forked. You like that name, Joe? Is that okay?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
I don't know how you do the apostrophe though.
You don't. Somebody already owns weareforked.com, but I'll get a variation. Yeah. I'll do weareforked.finance, see if that's available.
Forked and
We're Forked Finance.
F and Forked.
Or just Forked Finance.
How about F and Forked? Finance.
F and Forked? EFFIN Forked?
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I think it'll draw some attention.
Oh, it's a forked.finance is available.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's take that one.
All right. And then let me see if we're forked just for shits and giggles in case, we become super powerful and wealthy and everybody wants to come find us. Is that good? Anything else you want? You want F and Forked?
No, just do forked.finance. I like that.
Okay, good. I will acquire these bad boys.
What about everybody knows when we say fork that it's Ohm fork, right?
Yeah, I don't think we have to be specific.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
everybody will think it's a foodie channel or something like that. Forked finance.
Well, yeah, it's good. Okay.
No, that's perfect. Grab that one.
I will. I don't think I'll log in on the shared screen though.
Yeah, it's probably not a good idea.
Okay. All right. Let's see what else you got, Joseph.
Me.
You got nothing.
Well, just the Unistyle stuff. We talked about that. NFT mint going on there. Let me just pull up on just see what's going on there right now. Hold on.
I saw the new Spider-Man movie last night.
Oh, how was that?
It was decent. My son was over the friggin' moon. I had never been to a Marvel movie where the theater was packed. And the theater was packed. People dressed in full-blown Spider-Man costumes. Like, because this was opening night. Down here by us, Southland Mall. And I mean packed. And I had never experienced, like, my son warned me beforehand. He said, Dad, you've never been to a Marvel movie that's packed full of real Marvel fans. I said, no, but I mean, it's just a movie. What the fuck? Well, what the fuck? Let me tell you, it was insane. I don't want to do any spoilers, but here, let me. This was a minor moment after a major moment. So the fans were really hyped up, but I don't want to do any spoilers for people who haven't seen this, but you got it. I mean, this is the kind of shit that was happening in the theater. Wait a minute.
I'm Peter Parker. I'm Peter Parker. Oh, come on.
You hear that?
We can hear it, yeah.
So the whole movie was like that. People screaming, standing up, cheering, stomping up and down, like every time something happened in the movie. It was fucking nuts. It was crazy. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of
stuff. Right? Well, and I was functioning on 2.5 hours sleep, so I wasn't in the best of moods, but I had a lot of fun. I would give the movie, though, out of all the Marvel movies, I would put it at like a 7.5, maybe even a 7.25. And here's why. The villain, the plot was weakly established in the beginning, and it took too much time to get there. And then the villain, what's the word I'm looking for? See, this is those things that happen. I tweeted about this.
The anti-hero? The anti-hero?
Yeah, hold on. Let me call it. What did I say? Oh, Nemesis. The Nemesis vibe wasn't strong, right? You didn't feel like you were going against one Nemesis. The real Nemesis in this is Peter Parker.
Ooh.
That's the insights I will give you. The Nemesis of this movie is Peter Parker. Very emotional, very dramatic, very dark at times. Really well done, as all of these movies are. And I would have given it a higher rating if they really would have helped me have a bigger bad guy, a more plot-involved bad guy. But it was still really good. It was a lot of fun. And I'll tell you, I don't think I'll go see another Marvel movie without the crowd, because these people are nuts. I mean, nuts. But I told my son he's not ever permitted to attend a movie in full Spider-Man costume with me. As much as I love those people.
Well, yeah, you're going to have first choice on that costume, right? So he can't do it. Do they serve drinks there?
Not at this theater. This is a standard old movie theater. So anyway, but look, lots of fun. Great time, great people. Took my son and wife and a friend of his, and it was good. It was fun.
Yeah. No, I love movies. I'm so glad that we are back to movies again. It's just something to do.
Well, I'm boosted. We wore masks. I'd say about 75% of people 50% of people in the theater weren't wearing masks. We were masked.
My
wife has lung issues, so we're hyper cautious.
Yeah, you have to be, particularly with this one. It's like we said before. I don't think this is the one that's going to. I think it's going to be the good news at the end of this. All the enhanced, immunity. Yeah. But if you're boosted, and this Omicron one, it looks, I mean, we're lucky because we're in South Florida. Like I said, windows are open, fresh air, breeze, sunshine. We're not, in dust storm, Colorado, or windstorm, Kansas, or Minnesota that's just dealing with so much shit right now. We're fortunate.
What's Klima's token? Is it
Klima?
It's Klima. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we are fortunate, and I'm boosted. All of us are boosted. I am hopeful that this is it Omicron.
Yeah, Omicron.
I'm hopeful that this variation becomes the dominant strain, and that I think bodes very well for.
Well, my understanding is that from the little bit I've read and simulated is that it kind of stays in the upper tract of your respiratory system, like your sinuses and your throat area. It doesn't go deep into the lungs as much.
That's awesome.
Delta and the previous ones were that. So that's what makes it so much more contagious. But there's a lot of asymptomatic, and you don't, if it's not getting into your lungs deep, that's what was causing all the inflammation problems, where your system's shutting down and eating itself, basically. So, I mean, this is what you kind of want, is a mutation like that. But if
do you think medicine gets to the point where we create mutations that spread faster to dominate the current deadly mutations of diseases? I wonder if anybody plays science that well. I mean, who takes that chance, though, right?
That's what
Nobody's
going
to take that fucking chance.
You can't release that type of
That'd
stuff.
That'd be a stupid idea, Brad.
Because you don't know what happens to that one. You got to let nature run its course and just prophylactic up with the vaccine.
But I mean, imagine if there was a strain of something that was like massively killing people, right? And it wasn't very fast spreading, right? It was spreading and it was highly contagious, but we locked down, whatever. And it was spreading, and it was only in, say, the Southeast United States, or it was in another part of the world, right? Well, if you knew you were not going to vaccinate, I'm going to write a movie about this. If you knew you were not going to vaccinate enough people in time, but you could engineer a mutation that spread very fast and would give people, not kill, but would give people immunity, would you release it?
Well, I think there's too many unknowns. I mean, yes, in a perfect world, you would say, oh, that would be great. But I think, we see what happens with this one mutating, and we see what happens with other things. I mean, the flu that we get each year, that's still the Spanish flu pandemic.
Right.
I mean, that's been going on for 100 years now?
Yeah.
Over 100 years.
Yeah.
So it mutates every year into like 6 or 7 strains. And, everybody tries to forecast what strains are going to be most dominant. And that's what the flu shot's about.
Yeah.
So I don't know if, it's kind of like, Pandora's box. You don't know what's going to happen. But that's a hard choice to make.
What if some independent researcher just did it on his own? Like, fuck it, I'm going to save the world.
Yeah, well,
It releases a mutation. Is that even illegal?
Yeah, that's illegal. Yeah, that's illegal. I think it probably falls under the terrorism rubric.
Zachary, get the lab fired up.
Yeah. But, still, I get your point. But
anyway, I'm hopeful why do I look so fucking jaundiced, dude? I got the blue light on. What the fuck is going on? I look like I've got liver problems.
Hepatitis or something, man.
Maybe I do. Maybe I am looking jaundiced. It's not the camera or the light.
Well, I don't want to get you anything that makes you more paranoid, but, it's probably just the camera, dude. Or maybe just because you're old. Who knows, But it does look yellower when you get closer, dude. So
does it? All right, so I'll stay back here.
But
people are like, I'm not gonna put any money in with a fucking dude that looks like he's dying of liver failure.
No, he's got his what do you call it? What's the liver machines you got back there? With it's not dialysis. That's for that's kidneys, right?
Kidneys.
Yeah. But no, I think we have to trust. I had a buddy who's a doctor in New York, in Manhattan, and he's radiation oncologist, but so he's been in the thick of this from day one.
Right.
And, we've had talks over the years. We went to school together at Michigan, and he always says, look, you got to remember that the body is like I don't know.
Wait, you went to University of Michigan?
Yeah. Before I transferred to Chapel Hill. So,
I spent a lot of time in Ann Arbor.
Oh, Ann Arbor is great, man. That $5 weed law was pretty cool at undergrad.
Nice.
But so he said, look, you got to understand the human system for however long it's been around. It's a pretty engineered machine to adjust and adapt and fix things. I mean, otherwise, everybody, if you think about it, and from a genetic standpoint, if your genes were bad or you had a lot of deficiencies, it gets sort of bred out over time. So it's just a miracle that you're even alive. Right. That means every single one of your ancestors, all the way back to caveman days or before, lived to childbearing age. Yeah. Okay. So you got to think that your system, what you have, the resultant now is all of that evolution and all of those exposure to pathogens in a, pre-modern medicine era. And, I mean, most people were dying at 35 or so, but they were still reproducing and having kids. So, the human system evolves. So you have to sort of wait for it to make those adjustments. And I think that's what's kind of happening in this situation. Yeah. Where, I mean, we're not talking about bubonic plague numbers here. We're talking about a modern day ton of numbers, but because of modern medicine, it's really mitigated it. But, the fact that so many, I mean, I respect everybody's choice to do what they want, but it just puzzles me so much that people just don't get vaccinated. Yeah. I don't get it, but I'm not one who's going to, if I'm wearing a mask and somebody's not wearing a mask, I don't go put a mask on. I'm just like, do what you want, man. Yeah. I mean, you see the numbers, you see who's dying. Yeah. It's like 97% is unvaccinated. Exactly. Right, so, it's that's the crazy thing. The people who were so worried they were going to die from the fucking vaccine are the ones that are dying off in droves right now. Yeah. And it's sad, but you can't make people do what they don't want to do. Of course, everybody bitched about seatbelts. Everybody bitched about driver's license. Everybody bitched about smoking in public, in restaurants, in buildings. Yeah. And, they don't now. Yeah. Everybody bitched about drunk driving. Yeah. The amount of drunk driving going on before MAD and all that came around, it was like, there was like 55,000 people dying in, I think, 1970 from drunk driving. Yeah. With a population that was maybe only 200 million. And now it's like, what? 15,000, I think, or something. Yeah. With almost double that population. So society doesn't like to be told what to do. And you have to give them the chance to figure it out. And there's so much information out there. If people just get out of their own personal information sort of bubbles and look at other things and to see that, maybe it makes sense. Yep. It's, but anyhow, I'm vaccinated. I'm happy with it. And, I don't really care what anybody else does at this point. So, well, I don't care what anybody else does unless the mutations go ugly. Yeah. Well, they say this thing's also running through the entire deer population right now. So, that's weird. I hadn't heard that. Yeah. That kind of worries me more too, because then you start thinking, God, could that cross back? Yeah. But I look, as long as it doesn't fuck me, I don't care what people do with their own personal choice and personal health. When the mutations from people that aren't start, killing off the people that are, I'm going to be pissed. Yeah, but also I upgraded my mask arsenal. Now I've just got the N95s or whatever. Yeah, me too. I'm not even doing the cheap ass, Chinese, the KNs anymore. I'm even though they're approved in UK, I'm doing the full on ones. Yeah. And if you're wearing that, if somebody's around you, and also social distancing, you're going to be good. You're not going to, unless you stick your hand in their nose and stick it in your eye or something, you're pretty much okay. Yeah. So that's kind of where I come back. So the theater, I was thinking of the theater when you said that. And I was thinking how we went to see House of Gucci. My wife was stressed. Yeah. But it wasn't packed like that. It was, reclining seats, and it was one of those. It was a landmark theater over at Merrick. And, you get in and everybody's wearing the mask coming. Well, not everybody, but some people were. And then I sit down a seat, and I honestly, there was probably 40 people in that theater, not all by me. But, I took the mask off at that point to eat popcorn and watch the movie. So, but then I put it on to leave. So I kind of do a hybrid approach, but it is what it is. I don't want to. It's like, well, what can you do, man? So much. No. Okay, now I'm going to take their perspective. So much of it is rolling the dice anyhow. But I think that you can take practical steps to lower the risk. It's true. And throwing a mask on or getting a vaccine, it's not that hard. It's free, and I mean, I honestly, when this was all kicking off, I was kind of like, wait, they're rushing these vaccines out. And, I was no fan of the previous administration. And I'm like, what the fuck? They're probably taking bribes and shit to see who's going to get the thing and all of this. And so I kind of held off a little bit longer than most people, my daughter and everything. I didn't get my first one until June.
I wasn't worried about it because I understood, I read how they created it. I mean, they created it in March of 2020.
Yeah, well, they've been doing these mRNA vaccines for a long time.
Once I understood how they created it, I didn't have any fear. Now, sure, every now and then I think, well, could there be some long-term effects to the way this vaccine works? Yes, but I'd much rather this vaccine be rushed out, this kind of vaccine be rushed out, than the old traditional kind.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? That to me is one I'd rather bet on. Now, if they had rushed out a traditional kind, which injects you with the disease and, tries to combat it that way, that I wouldn't have been so excited about. This one, I understood the science, so I was excited about it. So. Well,
yeah, and this is a technology that's been around for a long time. So my thing was just, I'm also a little bit lazy too. So I, was just kind of waiting and seeing a little bit. But then once, I got comfortable with it. Plus, we're in South Florida.
Yeah.
I was running every day, outside and windows open. So it's not like we're in Cleveland or Chicago penned into an office in a house with a bunch of people. I mean, the only people who are getting sick down here were people that have multi-generational households.
Yeah.
And, again, and have to go out and face the public. We don't have to go face the public. We're sitting here doing this.
Yep.
So,
all right. So forked
next.
Let's do forked fund. I got nothing else. Let's start talking through forked fund. I'm going to make an initial list. I'm going to publish on my Twitter profile the URL of the spreadsheet and a link to my DM profile. You know what? I'm going to set up a way for people to start suggesting. I'm just going to set up a Google form.
Did you put Jade on there? Did you put Jade? Trading Edge is talking about Jade.
I'm sorry, Trading Edge. I think I'm asking your. Oh, Hawkeye series. Yeah, my son wouldn't watch me. Let me watch the rest of them after the first one because he wants to watch it with his mom and me. So we're holding off on that one. I'm sorry to hear it's awful so far. Jade Protocol. I don't like that team. You know how I am, Joe, right? That's the Smart Coin team.
Oh,
yeah. Got
it.
So I'm not a big fan, but if the community says they want to do it, look, we're all about the degen here. So I'll go. I will not try to use veto authority on that. So
no. Yeah. I mean, look, if you're doing a distribution across 30, sometimes you have to, this would probably be one that I think would be included because I don't know if we're going to find 30.
No, there's 30. There's probably 80.
But what's the TVL?
And you know what? If we don't find 30, then we'll increase the amount per, right?
Yeah. So they got 88 million in value lock. Like the ones I look at, like Unistyle, I think that's got like 1.5 million. Yeah. Well, I see a treasury balance of 1.4 million. Looks like 680 of that is stables, 680K. 91% is staked. So, that's a small one. I think Fortress is pretty small, maybe like 7. I think LifeDAO, I think that was 9 yesterday. It went up to like 12 or 14 today. So, that's one of the things we look to evaluate. But when they're new, they're going to be small.
Yep.
Like Unis. But, again, we'll sift through a list and see what makes the most sense. Wait, what do we got? Smart.
Now, I will say this: all the Olympus forks are getting hit on price right now, so this is the time to do it. We may want to rush this.
Yeah, I was thinking about that this morning as well, and I was looking at all of those, and Klima's down in the 300s. I think Olympus
so time's down. Time in the last 24 hours is down. I was regaining its footing. Now it's down 2.82%. Snowbank down 6.56%. Ohm down 7.64%. Klima down 3.78%. What else? Who else am I?
So this is something that you think about that. And so, when I'm just generally running trades, like say, it's on a central exchange and I've got like 30 plays going, if something's up like 25%, I tend to sell a portion of that, if not all of it at that point.
Right.
And then put it into the lowest performing one.
Yeah.
So the ones that are down 25. So,
yeah.
Then I basically look at it like I'm using almost like levered up dollars to buy levered up instrument to buy under levered instrument. So you get more bang for that buck.
Makes sense.
So it's something to think about. Like you said, with these now with Olympus and Klima, those would be ones that you would take profits from the smaller ones. Like when you talk about moving into stable coins, let's say, another option is moving into those, Klima, Time, Olympus, whatever the institutional grade plays are when they're down. Because we know they're going to catch up. And also
or we could, we could split it across the top 10 performing and invest when price is down, over 7.5%, right? Something like that.
It's almost like an index fund in a way.
No, it is. It's like the Olympus Fork Index Fund, basically.
Maybe we should call those guys in Stockholm again. What was that one group over there?
That would take us too fucking long. There are index platforms out there. I just don't think they're going to hold these tokens, but I'm going to take a look. I'm going to look at Enzyme, see if they've expanded. Most of them are just Ethereum, Polygon, and they're not going to be on any of these other chains that we need.
Okay, we got Johnny Mack. Loving the show, fellas. Didn't know there was a market for a total DGen live show, but I guess there are more of us than I thought. Hey, welcome, buddy.
Welcome, Johnny. Thanks for coming, man. Yeah, we're finding more and more every day. So tell your buddies that are doing it just like you. And we're going to start doing shit together as a community, too. So investing together, and we're going to do some fun stuff later on. We try to do fun stuff every day. So.
Yeah. And we kind of improv and riff a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
How about the entire fucking show?
I know, but this is like what our work calls are like too.
It's totally.
We're talking about different opportunities. So
we're both undiagnosed ADHD. So
yeah, it's multitasking. It makes the best consultants and deal people.
I might have to start taking thanks, Johnny. We're excited to have you, man. That's awesome. He said, awesome, I'm in.
Oh, cool.
That's great.
So there was something else I was just trying to think of.
I keep forgetting I can show comments on the screen when we're interacting with these guys.
Oh, yeah. I have them up on my side, too. Not on the screen, but on my laptop.
Trading Edge said, Smart Coin guys, very marketing and gimmicky, but brings in the eyeballs. That's a good point, man. Definitely. Yeah. I played with Smart Coin, just so you know, Trading Edge. I made money on it. But I got out because I knew it was not going to sustain, and I knew Smarter wasn't going to sustain. And so, we'll see. Maybe they get their shit together with Jade. I don't know. I get turned off when I feel like an entire project is all about manipulating the psychology of investors. I just, when that's the entire purpose of a project, and that's what this one feels like to me. But hey, if it makes money, it made me money. And I knew going in, I did a lot on the show, but we talked about Smart Coin a lot at the beginning.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep. Yeah. And I made money. It was great. So,
but what's interesting too, I've been I've been in Hatter, and that's been gone down like 95%. But and then they went to another token called Joseph doing something, and now they're on the third one called Charter, I believe. And they're actually trying to come out. They got the APIs done with TradingView and a few others. I think they're coming out with some kind of a charting application for Avalanche.
Nice
thing. So, I started thinking maybe these are, it's almost like a startup raise or a Series A raise, because they seem to be using all the money for development and things like that. So maybe this is a new way. Maybe these are just pivots.
Yeah.
A new model for, startup funding.
Hey, Bolt, Joe, I've got my material indicators call in 5 minutes. I got a Bolt.
All right, buddy. Hey, Trading Edge says, he remembers when you cashed out, Brad. All right, man. Well,
hey, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thanks for listening. Please DM me on Twitter, B05Crypto, or on Telegram, B05Crypto. What the hell's my username on Discord?
I'm Jay Salamanca.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah, you can find me on Telegram as Salamanca. I think I don't do Twitter much, but I just start following Jarvis.
Dude, you got to start doing Twitter because
I know. I
keep wanting to. Oh, I'm B05Crypto, pound 2143. B05Crypto, pound 2143 on Discord. You can DM me there. All of my accounts are the same. B05Crypto.
Yeah,
So.
and then mine on Twitter, and I will probably check it occasionally, is Joe Cawley 5.
Dude, that drives the engagement. You got to get in there. Get in there.
I got to stop going into, hanging in the Material Indicators channel and Telegram reading 1,200 messages. Everybody's just it's like nobody. I mean, there's some good stuff. Don't get me wrong, but it's all these people bitching at each other, and all the channels are like that. I'm not picking on you guys, but anyhow, I'll let everybody go.
So anybody message me if you guys are interested in the forked fund. I'll start building out the spreadsheet, Joe. We'll share it publicly. We'll start adding to it. I'll create a Google form so people can make suggestions for projects we should invest in, and show their interest, and then we'll take it from there.
Sounds cool. And remember, this weekend's probably going to be a little choppy. The weekends are always low volume, so a lot of volatility in the big prices. But, don't sweat it, because usually it starts rallying back Monday, Tuesdays when everybody wakes up. But it's always fun to watch. But anyhow, have a good weekend, everyone. And we'll
everybody have fun. I'm driving all weekend to Georgia and hanging out with my family a little bit. So I'll see everybody. Next Monday, I'll be calling in from Georgia.
All right, buddy.
Take care, man. Thank you, everybody.
Talk to you. Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.